From the hardwood of eastern Iowa, it's High School Hoops live on KCRG 9.2. Proudly sponsored by Community First Credit Union, Eels and Tronvold Law Offices, Rainer Garage Doors of Cedar Rapids, and Waln Collision Center in Fairfax. This is a presentation of KCRG TV9 Sports. High School Hoops live game broadcast only on KCRG 9.2.
Welcome on and welcome all inside of Williamsburg High School as we are prepared to get started in a boy-girl doubleheader between the Williamsburg Raiders and the Solon Spartans. Alongside the always wonderful Gina Rogers, I'm KCRG's Mike O'Brien. Ms. Rogers, how are you doing tonight?
I am great. Happy to be here in this beautiful facility.
Absolutely. We were just talking pregame a little bit. It's the first time I've ever been in this gymnasium. It's
first
wonderful,
time for me,
and
yeah.
You as well.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
Well, we should have a good one on tap for you in the girls' game. We'll be first to tip off in about 5 or 6 minutes away. Walmack East, the Solon Spartans 5 and 6 coming in, and the Williamsburg Raiders out of the Walmack West 2 and 8 coming in. Two teams who are struggling a little bit, trying to find their identities halfway through the season. They also have some fairly not inexperienced, but in terms of coaching tenure, you have the coach for Williamsburg, Austin Mulliken, who's in his first year, and then Jamie Smith on the other side for Solon. He's only in his second year, so between the girls and the coaches, still getting used to one another.
Yeah, figuring out who they are, who they want to be, and gosh, they play in a tough conference. And so, every night you're going to have you're going to be pushed to the extreme. Both teams, on a positive note, had a makeup games last night, and they both came out with a win. Solon defeated West Delaware, and Williamsburg defeated Mid Prairie last night. So let's hope the momentum and the positive vibes from last night carry over tonight for them.
Like you mentioned, the tough conferences, and it's a really tough week. We saw it kind of last year where we had that 2 or 3 week span where no games were played and everybody had to make up. This week for Solon, they have 3 games. For Williamsburg, for the boys and the girls, they have 4 games rather. They play Monday, they play Tuesday, they play Thursday, they play Friday, so they're right in the thick of that. So the fatigue maybe hasn't set in quite yet, but that's a lot of basketball in 1 week. It's
a lot of basketball in 1 week. Now, obviously you won't have practice, but the intensity that you have in a game versus what you might have in practice, maybe a little bit of difference there as well. But you're right, especially coming off, we're just started back to school here last week and coming off the holidays. So we'll see how both teams pace themselves and work through the game tonight.
The game clock has about 2.5 minutes left before we hit the national anthem and our starting lineup. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in 60 seconds. You're watching high school basketball on KCRG 9.2, brought to you by Community First Credit Union. Welcome back to Williamsburg High School. Game clock reads just about a minute, so maybe about 3 to 4 minutes away from tip-off here in the girls' game. Again, the Raiders coming in 2 and 8 on their home floor. Solon 5 and 6 on the season. Both teams averaging right in the low to mid 40s points per game. Williamsburg giving up about 58 points a game. Solon giving up about 45, so they're right in pretty even. Scoring 42, letting up 45. A couple weeks ago, they lost to that always tough Marion team in the Walmack, but 18 points, not a good offensive outing against the team, but they held Marion to 50. Holding Marion under 90 is pretty impressive.
Absolutely.
And then what does Coach Jamie Smith's team do? They bounce back and win 2 straight. What are the keys to get a 3rd straight win here tonight?
Well, I think the important thing is going to be to control the pace of the game. We talked about how many games they're going to be playing this week, coming off a game last night. So really trying to control the pace and make sure that you're playing your game. The other thing that I think we might want to point out, Mike, before we have the starting lineups here is the Williamsburg team has got on some lavender uniforms tonight. You want to talk about that?
Absolutely. It's the lavender out here at Williamsburg High School, and I believe the boys team is going to be doing the same thing. We don't have an official word on that yet because there were some different complications, but raising awareness for all types of cancer here with the lavender color. And you'll see, we'll get a shot a little bit later in the game, some of the girls with their shoes with yellow shoelaces. That's to raise awareness for pediatric cancer. And boy, do we have a story for you later tonight on the far side of the bench. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see it until we get a shot of it based on where our cameras are positioned. A little boy named Tate. Just an incredible story. And his sister is a starter on the team, and unfortunately he is battling a very aggressive form of pediatric cancer. Again, we'll get into that a little bit later, but just a wonderful night when any team can kind of come, raise awareness, raise some money. I saw some apparel being sold up front. It's a whole lot bigger than just high school athletics on nights like this.
Absolutely, and it's great to see the entire community support. So you can see, based on our camera here, the lights are turned out. We're ready for the starting lineups.
Welcome to the new warehouse on Walnut for the 2020 edition.
See our public address announcer getting ready to hit up our starting lineups. Solon a little injury plague coming into this, as is Williamsburg. Even if they weren't injured, Solon's a relatively young team already. Only 2 seniors on the roster. One of their better players, McKinley Levine, averaging 9.6 points per game. She is out, and as Coach Jamie Smith told me, hopefully watching this game from home, out in concussion protocol that she suffered a few days ago, I believe. So she is not going to be playing, as is the same with star guard Emma Bach. She'll be out for the year with a hairline fracture shin. So we've got some young players for Solon, but the good news is Coach Jamie Smith, speaking on the phone earlier today, they're too young to really know any better. You just go out and play.
Absolutely, and they won last night. So, getting that experience, getting on the floor, playing in these different gymnasiums on a night when there's, special events going on, that just makes you better every night out. And, boy, you certainly need it in the WAMAC.
In terms of Williamsburg, we also have a player out with injury. That's Lauren Pope, the 5'9 junior. She's also in concussion protocol. As we'll get to the starting lineups that are being announced right now, and we'll do them ourselves. Let's hit Williamsburg first. We have Jill Hollub, Taylor Bush, Tegan Schaefer, Kendra Eichhorn, and Taylor Weingarten. Tegan Schaefer, that is the sister of Tate Schaefer, again, the little boy that we had mentioned earlier. And it looks like that Tate is also out with the team as part of that tunnel that the girls run out of. It's so dark in the gymnasium, unfortunately, you don't have great visuals of that as we take a look at the Solon starting lineup here. Ava Steebrel, Kaya Holtkamp, Jenna Ladegi, Jada Buffington, and Ellie Holobar get the nod from Coach Smith. And with zeros reading on the game clock and all of our starters announced by the public address announcer, it looks like we are just moments away from getting ready for the national anthem. So we will pause and pay our respects and take a listen.
Mike Valentine and Peter Abbott. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and remove your hats as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem. Tonight's anthem is being performed by the Williamsburg vocal groups in harmony and sirens, under the direction of Steve Manning and Catherine Birdie.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket and rockets restless in the moon's blessing gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
An excellent rendition of the national anthem by the Williamsburg Choir, and not only does she score 7.7 points per game, but sophomore guard Tegan Schaefer part of that choir as well.
Yeah, they sounded amazing. Great job. I always say anybody as a group or as an individual who can get up and sing the national anthem has got my respect.
I have a wonderful voice as well. I just don't let anybody hear it. I'm a shower singer.
I won't even admit to that. No, no.
I don't believe you. Everybody sings in the show. It's just when you get up in front of a crowd and all of your peers is what is really impressive. All right, we're ready for basketball.
So I will say this is the first time I've seen lavender uniforms in a game.
For a team that's normally as bright as a red as you see the W on the middle of the floor. Jenna Ladegi winning the tip over Taylor Bush, but it's Williamsburg getting the rebound on the offensive floor. Quick lay-in early for Jill Holub, and it's the Raiders who strike first.
So good hustle back there, ready to convert immediately. So coming out in a full court press here are the Raiders.
Ball on the far side. That's Jada Buffington driving, kicking it out to Kaya Holdcamp. Goes back to Buffington. It's Ava Steebrel. Nice perimeter passing, and it's down low eventually to Ellie Holobar, who goes up and is fouled.
So we're going to get our first foul of the night here. I think we're going to get Taylor Bush on that one. 2 shots.
Holobar to the line on the season, a 50% free throw shooter, 17 of 34 on the air. Looking to get the first points on the board for the Spartans. First one's off the back iron.
So we were talking about the gymnasium here. It's an open format. Any of you that may have been to the co-gym, it kind of reminds me of that with kind of the atrium around. So it's open back behind that backboard. If you're not used to it, a little bit different look.
Holobar gets the free throw to fall. 2-1 lead for Williamsburg. Just about 1 minute into the first quarter. This is Taylor Bush driving in with the left hand, stopping the dribble. Dish out to Keegan Schaefer. Schaefer drives right into a double team, and the ball gets knocked loose. Will be ruled a jump ball.
It's going to be Solon's.
Possession arrow goes to Solon.
So the Spartans were playing a man defense there. Now they're on offense, and we've got looks like just a full court man now. No, they're going to do a little trap here, half court trap. Raiders bring it across, and then they drop back into their man defense.
And that aggressiveness on defense, maybe something you expect against a lineup. They've got 4 sophomores in Solon. So a lot of times maybe with that youth in the starting lineup, not necessarily knowing exactly what to do against a pressure like that. Coach Smith admitting that because of all the games they had this week, they didn't really have a whole lot of time to scout Williamsburg, to know what was going to be thrown at them. It was more focus on what we got to do and adapt as the game goes on.
You know, and that's really it. And especially with a young team, worry about who you are and what you do first, and take care of your business, and that oftentimes will be the result that you want it to be. And I kind of feel that way sometimes about calling games too, Mike. You know, we can do all kinds of research and have all kinds of information, but sometimes it's best to just let the game come to you.
That's sports. You never know what's going to happen, right? What a block and a hard fall.
Well, she gets right back up.
That's Kendra Eichhorn, the sophomore. Blocked the shot on what looked like Ellie Holobar, but Holobar goes back to the line. They did call a foul on that, so that will be Eichhorn's first foul. Williamsburg's second as a team. Holobar's back to the line after splitting her first 2 shots. Again, just like the first time, her first shot this time misses.
So Holobar's doing a good job on the last 2 possessions, getting to the basket, drawing the contact, and getting to the free throw line. It's going to be important to put those through.
And again, splits the free throws, but she brings her team to a tie. 2-2 here in the first period. It's Taylor Bush bringing the ball up the floor for the Raiders. Back to Schaefer. Schaefer goes underneath to Jill Holub. Holub's floater's good. Holub with an early 4 points.
Good cut, good backdoor pass. Give the assist there to Schaefer. So the Spartans working it around outside the perimeter here.
Again, every player on the Spartans listed as a guard. Their tallest is Ladegi at 5'9". We've seen Holobar kind of drive towards the basket, but we haven't really seen any kind of post-up presence down low. A lot of perimeter action. This three's off the back iron. That was attempted by Schaefer. Back the other way quickly. Here's Aver Steebrel off the glass and good.
Good hustle getting those points back in transition. And get back like that, you don't need to worry about setting up your offense.
This is Holub with the ball. She's got all 4 of Williamsburg points. Hits it down low. This is Schaefer up with 2 hands. No good. Holub almost gets the rebound. And again, here comes the fast break by Solon. Steebrel up ahead to Jada Buffington. Buffington's shot is blocked and kept in bounds by Taylor Bush. Bush coming back the other way. Right to left on your screen. And an ill-advised pass that's intercepted by Jenna Ledecky, who's got it back. Here's a wide open shot from the wing, and it's good. Ellie Holobar.
She was even a step or 2 behind the line. I think she took a step back. Nothing but net.
This is Taylor Weingarten driving with the right hand. Pop up. No good off the front rim. Gets her own rebound. Back out to Schaefer, the reset. Schaefer driving in with the left hand. Schaefer, nice up and under move for the lay-in.
Strong, too. Boy, she was determined. She was going through on that. Her face just showed it that she was not to be stopped.
Back and forth action here early in the first quarter. 7-6, Solon with the lead. Steebrel, a high pass brought down by Holtkamp. Holtkamp, a pull-up jumper from just inside the free throw line. No good. Rebound, Taylor Weingarten. And this time it looks like the Raiders will slow things down quite a little bit.
Set up in their half-court offense.
This is down low, driving the baseline. That was Holub. And here's a 3 try from Williamsburg. No good. That's Bush with the shot. Rebound goes to Solon. Solon, they don't want to slow things down. They're pushing the pace once again. Steebrel with it in the corner. This is Jenna Ledecky back to Steebrel.
So really they're just kind of going 5 out here and then looking to penetrate and kick. It's the offensive set for the Spartans right now.
That pass by Jenna Ledecky just a tad too high. Go for a backcourt violation and a turnover. Williamsburg will receive the ball down by 1. 3:08 left here in the first quarter.
First substitutions in for the Spartans.
Have Claire Ledecky checking in, as well as Era Foster. Ledecky, a freshman, Foster, a senior. Again, just one of 2 seniors on the entire Solon team.
Get that foul on Steebrel.
Here's a drive in and kick out. That pass off the foot of Taylor Bush. Back-to-back turnovers for both teams as Solon gets the next chance.
So we're hearing higher and wider here for the Solon team. So again, looking.
This is Claire Ledecky's first touch on offense. She goes up with the left hand and gets it to go. Nice drive from the freshman. Averages 1.4 points per game. There's 2 right off the bat. Three-point lead for Solon, and for the tie, no good off the rim. That was a shot from Taylor Weingarten. As we see some subs coming back in, Ellie Holobar and Jenna Ledecky coming back on the floor. Ava Steebrel will check off alongside Jada Buffington. Looks like Jill Holub also coming off the floor for Williamsburg. Solon again pushing the pace. This is Holobar. Top of the key is Ledecky. Holtkamp driving back to Ledecky. Out in the wing to her sister Jenna, who gets called for the travel.
So that time I was watching the defense of the Williamsburg Raiders. They were doing a good job playing good, tight shell defense. So 2 passes away, you're in the lane. 1 pass away, you deny. So doing a good job cutting off that drive and dish offense now for the Spartans.
Right-handed drive, no good. Attempt from Schaefer. Again, lots of perimeter passing from Solon. Here comes a drive. Kick out to the front corner. Doesn't take the shot. Back to Jenna Ledecky, who resets. Close side. Pass out to Era Foster. And Foster gets called for the double dribble.
So 3 turnovers. Pretty close proximity here for the Spartans. Substitutions back for both teams. So both coaches kind of running them in and keeping fresh legs in.
.80 seconds left here in the first quarter. It's a 3-point lead for the visitors. Nice pass down low. Can't get the finish is Bush. Blocked from behind by Jenna Ledecky, who has the ball now coming back up the floor. Ava Stebrel's got it on the wing. Cross court to Buffington. Back to Ledecky for 3, and it's nothing but net. Jenna Ledecky. Her first points of the game.
The officials are going to have to get the net down. Got hung on the rim.
Who can
there.
jump the? Oh, he's got it. No
Nice.
problem. No problem.
I wouldn't have done that.
It's Solon doubling up Williamsburg. Scored 12-6 following the 3 from Jenna Ledecky, her first points of the game. And here's the response from Williamsburg. Off the iron. It's a shot from Weingarten. Well, the Raiders get the offensive board. Here's Weingarten again. The crossover to the right side, looking to go down low. Finds Schaefer. Schaefer with the layup attempt, and it looks like too much contact. The foul, I believe, will be called on Ledecky. No, actually, it's Buffington, 24. It'll be her first foul. And a shooting foul, Schaefer will hit to the line. She's got 2 points already.
First free throw for the Williamsburg Raiders.
You like what you're seeing so far from both teams?
I
Coming
do.
out aggressive.
I really like the pace. I mean, it's a little bit quicker pace than what I anticipated, and I like that.
Up the floor is Ledecky. 30 seconds left. It doesn't seem like the Spartans are going to hold for the last shot. They'll hold for the best shot they can, but they're certainly not wasting any time. Ledecky, the kick-out pass. Reset on top of the key. Here's Buffington. Hand off to Stebrel. Stebrel driving in. They have 10 seconds to shoot here in the first quarter. There's clear Ledecky back to Stebrel. 6 seconds. Stebrel almost gets it stolen. She's driving the kick out. Gonna have to put up a last-second shot here. Air ball, nothing for Jenna Ledecky, and that's how the first quarter will end. 12-8. Solon with the lead. Second quarter action coming in just a little bit. You're watching high school basketball on KCRG 9.2, brought to you by Community First Credit Union. For Solon, Ellie Holabar came in averaging 6.4 points per game, and after that first quarter, she's already got 5. She's the game's leading scorer as Solon's up by 4. Williamsburg will start the second quarter with the ball.
It's aggressive man defense here for the Spartans.
It's Taylor Weingarten. Kick out to Schaefer. Schaefer's open for 3, pops it, no good off the back iron, rebound Solon. Comes the other way, Jada Buffington. Up ahead to Stebrel. Stebrel over 2 defenders. Can't get the shot to go, and back comes Schaefer. No, it's pickpocketed by Kaya Holtkamp, and Holtkamp with the assist. Buffington with the layup.
Oh, quick turn of events there, but good job by the Spartans just staying active, keeping the ball alive, being able to finish.
That pass nearly thrown away, and that one almost intercepted as well, as it's Holub now driving. Got Ledecky defending her. She goes up and draws the foul. That'll be the first on Ledecky.
Good decision there by Holub. She saw that she had her player off balance and just went up, drew the contact.
Looked like it was good recognition. It didn't look like her first intent was to go up and shoot that, but she saw all of her kick-out passes were blocked. As the first free throw attempt, no good.
First free throw a little strong.
Holub, one of 2 seniors for Williamsburg. The second shot's good. the leading scorer for the Raiders with 5 points. Back comes Holtkamp. To Buffington, along to the wing for Ledecky. Ledecky crossover, drive it with the right hand, off the window, no good. Almost got her own rebound. It's brought down by Bush from Williamsburg. Across the timeline. Bush with the left hand. Turnover. Goes up strong. That looks like it'll be a foul called on number 24, Jada Buffington. That's Buffington's second.
So her second, team fourth. The Raiders doing a good job of just taking it to them, taking it to the basket and drawing that contact.
First free throw off the mark.
So, Mike, I know this is the first game you and I have worked together, but I am historically known for how I say free throws are important. It's kind of my favorite part of the game, and so we've seen that we've missed several here, and so this could be something we're going to want to keep an eye on.
Thankfully for Williamsburg, the rebound goes off Steeble's hands, and possession will stay down here. Yeah, you need more points than the other team to win, and free throws are free points, aren't they?
Well, you got to put points on the board without time coming off the clock. It's a simple
Schaefer,
thing.
The inbound, that's a mid-range jumper, no good by Eckhorn. Again, the rebound comes to Solon's Ledecky. Ledecky pushing the pace herself, waiting for the rest of her teammates to get settled. This is Holtkamp. Again, around the perimeter. This is Steebrel to Ledecky. Ledecky thinks about shooting, decides not to.
I think they're going to get her on the screen, maybe.
So
No,
foul
the
called on
defense.
5.
Okay.
Taylor Bush, that's her second.
That high top of the key screen was a little. I was thought maybe they might get her for a moving screen there.
So Bush is going to come off the floor. Weingarten checks back in again with the injury-depleted rosters. Not a whole lot of names on these rosters to begin with either. Foul trouble is going to be something to look into for this game later. He got a handful of girls already with 2 fouls here in the first half.
So there was Ledecky just picked up her second there on the offensive end. 5 team fouls.
Schaefer, a nice pass to Weingarten. Again, can't get it to go, but the offensive rebound, no good. Another offensive rebound. Third tries the charm for Kendra Eckhorn. Gets the layup to go and one. Not exactly sure who the foul was called on.
Looks like they called it on 3. Called it on Claire Ledecky.
Eckhorn doing all that work down low herself. Can't convert with the and one, though. Almost another offensive rebound. This one's going to be a jump ball.
Should go to the Spartans. Yeah, so again, I'm really impressed with the Williamsburg Raiders, just their tenacity around the basket. They're really taking it up there, not afraid of the contact. Got to make those free throws.
Perhaps that's an adjustment. We really didn't see a whole lot of that in the first quarter. Second quarter, that's all they've been doing. Open in the wing for Claire. That's no good. Driving. Can't get it off the window. Another offensive rebound for Solon's Buffington, but her attempt couldn't go. It was blocked by Hollub. Back comes Williamsburg. Here's Schaefer on the wing. Schaefer looking to go down low to Hollub. Hollub gets the shot up, and it's good. Hollub's got 7. And Coach Smith from Solon forced to call a timeout, so we will as well. Solon up by 1, 5.5 left in the first half. You're watching live high school basketball right here on KCRG 9.2. And we're back resuming action here. 5.5 left in the first half. It's a 1-point game. Back and forth we've gone here. In the first 20 minutes, Solon's got it. This is Steebrel. To Buffington. That's Claire Ledecky. Back to Steebrel. Steebrel driving the kick-out pass. Here's an open 3 from the wing, and it rolls. Ellie Holobar for 3. She's got 8.
That one danced around just a little bit. Decided to go down.
Weingarten with it, nearly stolen by Buffington.
Buffington doing a good job of trying to tip that ball away with the hand that's closest to the ball. Something I always watch for. If you go across your body, you're more likely to get a foul. Tip it, go after it.
Here comes Jill Hollub. Holland's got a team-high 7. Weingarten looking for the play to get set up. That pass just a little too high. Can't come down with it as Eichhorn. It's a turnover as Ledege's back the other way. Ledege's open on the top of the key. Gets the kick-out pass. That one off the iron, no good. Rebound for the Raiders. Pushing the tempo. Here comes Weingarten. Weingarten with the drive. Gets it to go.
Weingarten with a quick speed there, just able to get around the defense of the Spartans.
Again, the pace of this game is picked up here in the second quarter. Ledege from the corner. That one's good. That's her favorite spot. Jenna Ledege up to 6 points, all of them from downtown.
Now those 3 balls are opening up for the Spartans because the Raiders have done a good job of keeping defense in the lane, so they're stopping that drive.
Ball stolen away. Here comes Holobar. Holobar looking to backtrack here. Ledege open from the same spot, looks to go 2 for 2, and she does.
Think she's feeling it.
Ellie Holobar is taking over here in the last few minutes. Back-to-back threes from the same spot on the floor, and the Solon lead just like that, up to 8.
So at this point in time, I think Coach Milliken is saying we need to identify the shooter. That's 2 in a row that she's made from out there. And because we've changed our defense, in the first quarter we saw the Solon Spartans they would go 5 out and then drive and look to dish. They'd drive the lane. And in the second quarter, the Williamsburg Raiders have started packing that lane. They're playing better shell defense, so they're keeping somebody in the lane just kind of on the safe side. And so that drive is not there, which allows the three-pointer to be open. And so far, the Spartans are finding that and getting them to go down.
On the year, Solon 31% from three-point. Not sure what their percentage is today, but it looks like they're knocking them down when they're open.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do. I mean, if they give you the shot, and if not, if you start getting your face, getting the hand up in the shooter, then that's when you start looking to do that drive again. So it's just really what the defense is giving you.
23-15, the lead for the Spartans. 3 minutes, 45 seconds left on the clock here in the first half.
Thought the Spartans were going to come out and press, but that looks like they were just waiting to drop back in their half-court defense.
This is Weingarten with it. Out to Holub. Holub over to Eichhorn. Eichhorn to Bush. To Schaefer. So far, lots of passing. That one dribble from Schaefer was the first we've seen. Now a couple from Bush as she tries to drive. That pass intercepted in the middle from Ledege. Bodies on the floor. Raiders are going to come back up with it. Here comes Weingarten. Weingarten stops. Coach Smith liking the defensive pressure Spartans were able to put on there.
Looks like Holdcamp just got stuck behind and reached around. They're going to call the first foul on her. So that's her first of the evening. It's going to send
Holub to the line.
Yes.
She's got 7 already. That's just a beautiful sound when you hit nothing but net.
Yeah, definitely. String music, we call it.
Holub now up to 8 points, looking to cut the deficit down to 7. Excuse me, it is. That's why communications not very good at math. It was 7, now it's 6.
She made both free throws. That's what makes me happy. So again, the Spartans are starting way beyond the three-point line. Really spread out, high and wide.
Buffington with the down low to Holobar. Holobar cross court. This is Kaya Holdcamp. This is Ledege.
So really what they're doing is they're doing a ball screen. So the screen on the ball, and then they're looking for the roll to the basket if they have it.
Steve roll the kick out to Kaya Holdcamp for 3. Holdcamp nearly falls, but it rims out. Rebound Raiders. Bush has it. The turnaround lay-in. No good, and that will be off of Kendra Eichhorn. Solon ball.
Our officiating crew here out of Iowa City tonight.
So far, it's been a pretty clean game for them.
I'm very impressed with the way they've controlled the game. This is my first time seeing this crew. Happy to see that we have Shannon leading the crew here.
Ledegui's going to get called for the travel, as her floater was good, but the travel came beforehand. Great defensive effort there. Eichhorn nearly coming away with the steal. 120 seconds left here in the first half, and pickpocketed was Holdcamp, but she'll get called for the foul. It's Holdcamp's second.
Team 8th. So still in the 1-and-1.
That's Weingarten on the line. Just put her point total up to 3 with that free throw. Looking for 4. She nails it.
4 for 4 here.
Ebro looking to get involved with the action, driving the baseline, kick out to Ledegui, nearly stolen again. How about the defense from Weingarten on Ledegui? It's as tight as it can be. Weingarten drives. It's going to draw the foul.
And they're going to get Weingarten on that one.
Ledegui's got 6. Now she's got 7. It's a lead back up to 5.
And she makes them both. So it looks like Jenna Ledegui's going to get a well-earned rest here for a minute or so.
Ledegui will already improve her points per game average. Already in the first half came in with 7.5. She's got 8 today. Here's Holub with it. 1:20 left here in the first half. Driving is Bush. The turnaround, left-handed lay-in, no good. Rebound, Solon. Solon going to push it. This is Claire Ledegui. That pass ill-advised. It's tipped.
A little too slow.
Bush, who was the late trailer back from the other end, comes in and gets her hand on it. So Schaefer for the 3 of that ball short. Bodies on the floor fighting for the rebound. Looks like Solon got the possession, and there'll be a foul called on Kendra Eichhorn. It's Eichhorn's second. So we'll see a quick substitution here. Megan Lamparic in for Williamsburg. Coming off the floor for a quick rest is Eichhorn. Coach Mulliken not wanting Eichhorn to get a 3rd foul here before the end of the half.
So we'll see if the Spartans are going to go ahead and work it in, or if they're going to try to work this last minute on the clock. Right now on target, 25 points here in the first half. They're above their average.
Coach Mulliken telling his team to pressure the dribbler just a little more than they are. Not letting them get that last shot in an easy manner.
And if you watch the defense, Taylor Holub, number 2, is just really hanging around in the lane. She's kind of the defensive back.
Foul called on Bush, and that's big. The individual defense there really aggressive, but that's Bush's 3rd foul now.
Yeah, that's important. And really kind of bailed them out there too. It really did. And so that's a coaching opportunity for Taylor Bush. Make a good decision.
Bush comes off, and onto the floor is Rachel Detweiler, number 4 for Williamsburg. As Solon's very content here, waiting for the last shot. They've got 11 seconds to do so. Ball is in the hands of Kaya Holdcamp. Holdcamp drives, tries to go underneath. She's going to get called for the charge.
And that was just what we talked about. Jill Holub is just standing there in the lane, being ready, and she was there. I think she was a little surprised that she didn't get the foul, but she was in place.
What a turn there, too, for Holdcamp. That's her 3rd foul now.
Yeah.
So within the last 30 seconds of the half, Taylor Bush and Kaya Holdcamp getting more into the foul trouble before halftime. Now Williamsburg is going to get a chance here. 6.6 seconds left. They're down by 6. Ball comes to Detweiler, and it's stolen. Claire Ledegui for the buzzer. It's no good. That's how the first half will end. 25-19, the visiting team, the Solon Spartans, with the lead. Led from 11 points from their senior, Jenna Ledecky. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll recap the first half, and we'll go over some highlights. When we come back to watch live high school basketball on KCRG 9.2. Mike O'Brien alongside Gina Rogers here, halftime of the girls' game between Solon and Williamsburg. Solon Spartans leading by 6, 25-19. 8 points from Jenna Ledecky, 11 points from Ellie Holobar. Again, this is the first time we've seen these two teams this year. One wasn't quite sure what to expect. That first quarter and that second quarter, those were very different versions of basketball being played.
Yeah, absolutely. But, what I see is there is good adjustments. There were good adjustments by both teams. Talking about the offensive defense that we saw for the Spartans, and then the adjustments that the Williamsburg Raiders made to keeping Hollab just, playing defensive back, for playing zone right there. She was just a one-woman zone, in the paint the whole time, and able to stop just like that, draw that last foul on the charge right at the end of the quarter. So that was a good adjustment, because in the first quarter, the Spartans were able to just drive and dish. They were 5 out and just go and drive and dish the whole time. On the opposite end, the Raiders are doing a great job just getting to the basket. They got the Spartans in a little bit of foul trouble and really made up for it at the line. So both teams very aggressive to the hoop. But again, the Spartans, once they got that outside shot going, they made 3 or 4 of those in a row, and they were doing a great job. So it's the WAMAC. What do you say, right?
Well, you said it already. The key word, I think, was adjustments.
Yeah.
Both coaches were admitting because of the amount of games they're going to have to play this week, they couldn't scout each other. They just didn't have an opportunity. So the scouting came in that first quarter, to gather the information of how the offense is going to look, how the defense is going to look, and then clearly after that first quarter, the adjustments were made, and a lot prettier basketball there in that second quarter from both teams.
Well, and we talked about it too. Sometimes you just kind of have to let the game come to you and see what it is, and as you said, that's what the coaches have done. Now, what I'm thinking that's going to happen in the locker room now is, we've got to talk about some fouls. We've got to talk about some of our key players in foul trouble here. We've got Taylor Bush for Williamsburg. She's got 3 fouls. I've got Eichhorn with 2.
Kai Holtkamp with 3 for Solon as well.
Right, and Buffington with 2, and Jenna Ledecky with 2. So those are some of your key scorers there that they're going to have to be careful. They're going to have to play smart. Because you're going to need them. Obviously, we talked about this earlier in the game, is, neither team's bench is incredibly deep right now. You've got a lot of games to play this week, and so this is a good opportunity for the young players as well as the senior players or the upperclassmen to make some good decisions. You have to be able to control yourself mentally as well as physically, so there's going to have to be some mental decisions made out here. Am I going to go for that? Am I going to make that? Am I going to be able to do that? Or am I in position? Just make some good decisions.
As you're taking a look at here's some of the crowd shots here at Williamsburg High School Gymnasium. We've got a really good crowd here tonight. And again, the boys' game is going to be right after the conclusion of the girls' game. Give them about 20 minutes to warm up. And again, that will be broadcast live right here on KCRG 9.2. It's a good crowd. It's the lavender out here at Williamsburg. If you were watching that first half, you saw the lavender uniforms that Williamsburg was wearing, and do believe we did get confirmed now that the boys' team will also be wearing that to raise awareness for all types of cancer.
I think that's great.
And it's the yellow shoelaces as well that I believe we've got some video of that the girls are wearing. And the yellow is to pediatric cancer, which really hits close to home for the Williamsburg Raiders. Tegan Schaefer, she's a sophomore on the team. This is her brother, Tate. Tate's in the wheelchair and who's suffered from pediatric cancer for really the majority of his young life. Just an incredible story for Tate. You see he's there on the edge of the Williamsburg bench, right there with his mom and dad and his sister. You're playing for a lot more, and when you have him right there on the bench, it means a whole lot more.
Yeah, and the community support is amazing. Anyone that has dealt with cancer, has had a loved one that has dealt with cancer, the support is important. Sorry, I choked up a little bit there. I got a family member myself, so appreciate the support.
Absolutely, and Tate's just an incredible kid, and KCRG Scott Sable featured Tate quite a few months back. Tate, I'm telling you, the toughness of this kid is just unparalleled.
The Williamsburg golf team dedicated this season to their coach Brad Schaefer's son Tate, who has been battling a rare brain tumor called DIPG. Their team motto was to state for Tate.
His battle with cancer has been taking a physical toll on his body, but he has stayed mentally tough, and so we've tried to take that mentality right to the golf course.
The Raiders had a goal of winning a trophy for Tate this year, and they faced disappointment today. They canceled the final round of the state golf tournament for weather. Williamsburg finished 5th, just 2 shots out of the medals.
Coop.
Raider, how's it going?
Once again, Tate was there to save the day with smiles and hugs for all the disappointed players.
We have 14, 18-year-old kids that are putting a little 11-year-old kid in front of their goals and their dreams, so you can hear the emotion in my voice. I mean, it's just special.
Congratulations, boys.
Thank you.
All right.
Jeez, things heavy.
Then in a great display of sportsmanship, the West Branch golf team, who had worn Tater Tough t-shirts, brought their second-place trophy over to let Tate hold it. All this support gives the Schaefer family strength.
There's just a lot of people that care about us, and we're super fortunate to be in the community in the spot that we're in. So that strength every day is just the people that are around us.
Through their Tater Tough Facebook page, Brad has been able to share the good times like the trip to the Super Bowl and the Masters this year.
It kind of keeps his mind off of the treatment, keeps his mind off of, you know, what's he got going on, and it's just, you know, he's taken the motto of just live every day to the fullest.
Brad also shares the progress Tate is making, like his recent chemo treatments in California.
It's called convection enhanced delivery of chemo, and they go into the brain with catheters. And that's a clinical trial that we're in right now. And he had really good success.
Brad thought about taking the year off from coaching, but after moments like today, he's glad he didn't.
You know, I didn't even know if I was going to coach this season with everything we had going on, and just he said, no, I want to be there. He loves riding in the cart. They treat him like he's their little brother.
Just an incredible story. Tater Tough, as you're taking another look at him now, we do have an update for you. Tate was traveling to California for a lot of that treatment, and the recent news is now he's been approved of some different kind of treatment here in Iowa City. Much, much closer travel than having to head out west, and we wish the best to the entire Schaefer family and the entire Williamsburg community. We've got a minute left on the clock until the second half resumes. Solon with a 6-point lead. Second half action coming up after the break. You're watching live high school basketball on KCRG 9.2, brought to you by Community First Credit Union. Resuming action here on KCRG 9.2. Already in action is the second half here between Williamsburg and Solon. Raiders get the ball first, and they're down by 6. Moving left to right now on your television screens. This is Egan Schaefer, Tate's sister. Pass to Taylor Weingarten. Weingarten has it now, resetting on the top of the key, defended by Stebrel. Weingarten driving with the right hand. Gets blocked and has to bring it back out. Trying to go down low to Holub. Pass is picked off by Anna Ledegi. Name we've said quite a few times there in the first half. Ball's close to Buffington. Buffington to Stebrel. Stebrel driving, has some open space, decides not to shoot. Instead, she passes to the corner to Holtkamp. Holtkamp drives. Here's an open shot for 3. No good by Holobar. Schaefer the other way, and it's pickpocketed from behind by Stebrel. Wide open for the left-handed layup is good. Jada Buffington. Nice pass from Ledegi, but it all started from the steal by Stebrel.
Points off turnovers. Points off turnovers, points in transition, second chance points, all important in this game.
Pull-up jumper from the elbow, no good for Weingarten. Here comes again a cross-court pass from Ledegi. Driving in, layup with the right-hand attempt, no good from Kaya Holdkamp. Holla brings it down for Williamsburg as they reset down by 8. In the corner, Schaefer. Schaefer for 3, no good. Fighting for the offensive rebound.
It's going to go to the
It's a good
Spartans.
fight.
Alternate possession gives it to Solon.
Looked like Ledegi came down with that clean, but then 2 Raiders immediately attacked to get the jump ball call. Solon with a chance to bring the lead to double digits for the first time tonight. Ledegi with it, stops the dribble. Pass out to Buffington. Buffington driving the baseline, kick out to the wing. There's Holdkamp. Holdkamp driving in the triple team, and she gets it to fall.
Just a good extra step through to be able to push that and muscle that up.
Holdcamp's first points of the day. This is Weingarten.
Give her the
Wasn't sure if
three.
her foot was on the line, and it was not. Beyond the arc, three-pointer. Solon trying to respond, left-handed drive, no good. Offensive rebound. Here's Stebrel, wide open, and it's good. Stebrel's up to 5 points on the night. Can't find yourself much more wide open than she was there.
Absolutely, and she had her feet set and ready to shoot.
This is Weingarten, the pull-up. Can't get it to go, but it's a rebound down low. Offensive rebound, but the putback attempt from Lampark's no good. All will be awarded to Solon after it's kicked out of bounds. Going back on to the floor for Williamsburg, Olivia Stratton, the first we've seen of her tonight. Off the floor is Megan Lampark. Stratton, number 11, 5'4" junior, averaging just under 2 points per game. Buffington with it, down low to Holobar. Holobar going to post down her opponent. Shot from the wing for three, no good off the front iron. The attempt was from Holtkamp. Fighting for the offensive board again is Solon. It'll be a jump ball, this time awarded towards the Raiders.
Jill Hollab in there fighting. She does it. She just hangs around the basket. I like her game.
Here comes Weingarten. Looking for one of her teammates to go to. She finds Schaefer. Schaefer backing down her defender. Tries to go off the window. No good. But it's a rebound. Hollab. Weingarten from mid-range gets it.
So both teams coming out just firing, not having any hesitation. Keeping the foot on the pedal.
This is Holtkamp driving in. Again, you see defensively, Hollab just staying put right there in the post, just like we saw at the end of the second quarter there.
Well, 2 turnovers already for the Spartans here in the third quarter. They had 5 unofficially in the first half. The Raiders had 6 unofficially in the first half. All my stats are unofficial.
I won't tell anybody. Weingarten's going to drive in aggressively. Really gets it tipped away, but Williamsburg able to keep possession. Stebrel, Weingarten for 3. No good, but the offensive board, Hollab. Hollab back up, hits the side of the backboard. Rebound. Solon Stebrel gathers it underneath the basket, tries to kick it back out, and it's a steal from Hollab. Weingarten with it again, and this time it's Coach Mulliken electing to take a timeout just to slow things down a little bit there. Turnover.
Yeah,
all right, let's take a breath here.
Let's straighten it out.
And we'll take a quick break for a word from our sponsor, Rainer Garage Door.
Rainer Door. Dependable, stylish, timeless. Select Rainer Door for superior products, professional installation, and service. Go to crrainerdoor.com.
And we're back here. Solon had a lead as big as 10. That was the biggest lead of the night so far. Right now it sits at 8. 2 scores for Williamsburg, having 9 points each in Jill Hollab and Taylor Weingarten. For Solon, they're being led by Ellie Holobar and Jenna Ladegi.
Okay, looking around the gymnasium here tonight, I see Cornell coaches, Coach Brazzi up there, doing some scouting tonight. I will actually be in Mount Vernon tomorrow night, PA, announcing for his game against Ripon. So busy basketball for everybody this week, Mike.
It's that time of year.
It is. My favorite time of year.
We've got a lot of coaches' connections in our second game, in the boys' game, as driving the left hand is Taylor Bush. Can't get it to go. Got Schaefer with the offensive board. Putback attempt, no good, but she's fouled and will shoot 2. The Schlaubaugh family is quite well known here in Williamsburg, has a nice coaching tree. We've got a story on them. And then there's a familiar name on the other side of the floor in Solon, last name of Bluter.
Starts with a B.
That ring a bell for anybody?
Yeah. Starts with a V.
Schaefer's first attempt, no good. Trying to cut into that deficit. Schaefer's got 4 points, 2 of them from the free throw line tonight. And that one long, 0 for 2. Ken Genie, you said it earlier, free throws are important. 2 missed points, opportunities.
It's really simple. It's really simple. And it's something that, you know, I say this about every broadcast, but kids, if you're listening, if you're in the gym and you're just shooting around, don't worry about jacking up those threes. Until you can get your free throw percentage at 80%, you leave those threes alone. The free throws are the most important thing. So work on your free throws, the rest will come. That's my advice.
Sound advice. Everybody wants to shoot a 3 and dunk nowadays, and often the fundamentals are
absolutely
an afterthought, and the fundamentals are the one that are going to get you in the starting lineup in the first place. And one opportunity. What a drive from Taylor Bush.
Taylor Bush, just strong, was not going to be denied.
That's Bush's first 2 points of the game. We haven't really seen her be that aggressive on the offensive end. We see her drive nearly into a double team, and she got it to fall. Chance for the and one. Cut the deficit to 5. Off the side of the rim, rebound Solon. 32-26. 2:40 left here in the third quarter. Wide open, taking the shot. Buffington is long. Will head right out of bounds. Williamsburg will get the ball right back.
Yeah, I think Buffington was surprised at how open she was. Nobody picked her up after she, brought that ball in. She turned around, there was nobody there.
She shoots the 3 from 28% so she can hit it down, and especially when you see a defender back off of you like that, you got to take your shot. There's Bush. Out to Schaefer. Schaefer driving the kick out to Weingarten. Steebrel, nice defense on Weingarten. Not giving her any space. Again, driving is Bush. Strong. And again, getting it to go.
I really like that strong take to the basket. Just really get up there and just extend up and finish. Both ends.
Quick response from Kaya Holtkamp.
Very important to make those points in transition, those layups and free throws. As you said, Mike, the fundamentals.
Here's Bush again with the and one. Taylor Bush taking over. 6 straight points for Williamsburg. All comes from Bush, and she's got a chance for the and one for her 7th point of the night, her 7th point in the last 2 minutes.
So I guess she's not concerned about those fouls that we talked about in the first half. She's coming out.
Because she picked up that third one late, and you had to wonder, that's one crucial one to pick up in that situation. And clearly it's, okay, well, now I just got to be aggressive on the other end.
Right. I got to make good decisions. I got to be strong, and I got to take it to the hoop. That's exactly what she's done.
Bush with the free throw attempt. This one is good. The Solon lead now down to 3 of the 5 starters for Williamsburg. Bush came in averaging the most. 11.4 per game. She's up to 7 tonight. Steebrel for the response. That's no good. Offensive board. Looks like an over-back foul will be called, I believe, on Bush. And that's number 4 for her. Jenna Ledecky going straight up to try and get that offensive board, and she had the positioning on Bush.
So
now Bush is going to have to take a seat, and that's big for Williamsburg. She's been the spark here so far in that third quarter. Now she's got to sit out, and you don't know how long Coach Mulligan's going to keep her out. And it looks like the foul call will be immediately responded by Jenna Ledecky on a push-off on the inbound. It looks like they called.
Yes, and that's her third. Looks like she just threw her elbow out there, kind of tried to make a little room. The official was right on top of it.
Weingarten backing down Steebrel. Weingarten with the fall-away layup. Got it to go. She's got 11. Leading the Raiders. It is a 1-point game here. Doesn't get any better than this. 1 minute, 20 seconds left in the third. Falling layup is good by Kaya Holtkamp.
She was clear outside on the left and still got that to go.
Holtkamp similar to Bush, and that foul is going to be on the floor. believe that's going to be Holdcamp being called. Yes, it is. That will be her fourth as well. So again, one of the themes we thought might be reoccurring here in the second half. Some of these star players getting in foul trouble, having to take a seat on the bench. We saw Taylor Bush come in and score 7 points rather. The second half, she's now sitting down. Kaya Holdcamp has 6 points in the second half. She's now sitting down as well.
So now we have to look at is who's going to step up and who can play with the fouls and who can, control. So a little bit of full court man here for the Raiders. Coach Smith yelling, clear. It's man. They're going to bring it down.
This is Ledecky. 3 fouls. Ledecky loses a dribble out in the corner for Era Foster. There's Skibrel. Skibrel finding Claire Ledecky in the corner. Ledecky's short off the rim, but the offensive board is Foster. Ledecky in the corner, driving in. Kick out to Skibrel. That pass tipped from Weingarten. Weingarten the other way. Off the window, and it's good. Weingarten, a game-high 13 points.
So since Bush has taken a seat with her 4th foul, Weingarten has really stepped it up a notch as well.
Just 12 seconds left here in the third quarter. Solon going to go for the last shot. Who else but Jenna Ledecky with the ball. Ledecky the kick out to Era Foster for 3. Foster's no good. Still 2 seconds left. Weingarten is going to just let it sit. Looked like they didn't know exactly how much time was left on the clock, and that's how the third quarter ends. We've got a good one coming up in the fourth quarter. 1-point game. Solon up ahead of Williamsburg, 36-35. It'll all end coming up after the break. You're watching live high school basketball on KCRG 9.2. Solon coming into this game 5-6. Williamsburg coming in 2-8. Again, we're only about midway through the season, but a win in the WAMAC is tough to come by any night. And what a battle tonight has been.
And the Raiders coming out of that third quarter, they were 6 of 8 from field goal range as we finished out that quarter, so very strong.
Wide open from the wing. Buffington for 3 gets it to go. Buffington's got 7.
She was lined up right with us, and we could see that was going to go down.
Here's Weingarten trying to move off the screen. Skibrel gets a hand in there, knocks the ball loose. Weingarten has to reset, loses her dribble. Down to Kendra Eichhorn. Here's Schaefer. Schaefer looking to go down low. Eichhorn, it'll be a foul called, I believe, on Holobar.
Yep, and that's exactly what happened just as we're hearing Coach Smith in front of us. She got stuck behind, and you can't reach around. So you just got to work on position, and you do that with your hips down. You don't do it with your arms. You're going to get called with a foul, so work with your hips and your feet.
Holobar has a few fouls to give. That's just her first of the night as the inbound pass comes to Weingarten.
Yep.
And the reach-in foul is going to be on Skibrel. That's her first of the night, but all of a sudden Solon's now up to 17 fouls. And with 7 minutes, 19 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter, it's the bonus the rest of the way for Williamsburg.
So we've said it all along. Free throws are important, especially when you get the other team in foul trouble.
Weingarten off the back iron for the first attempt, brought down by Solon's Ledecky. This one, all coming right here at the desk. I got it.
He's in the game. He's in the game, folks.
Ledecky here right to our left, the inbounder. Finds Buffington. Just nailed that triple. Back to Ledecky. Buffington here in the close corner. There's Claire Ledecky, freshman. That's a deep 3 attempt, no good from Holobar. Defensive rebound brought back from Williamsburg. Schaefer's going to cross the timeline for the Raiders. That ball nearly stolen. It is stolen from Holobar. Holobar back the other way, and it's stolen from behind from Schaefer. A nice recovery there from Tegan Schaefer. Almost a double dribble might have been called there on Holobar after the steal.
Yeah, she just hustled back down there and just kind of messed her up. Just kind of got it out of her rhythm.
It's Jenna to her sister Claire on the inbound. Claire resets back out to Ava Skibrel. Skibrel to Buffington. steal. Schaefer will get credit for it. Schaefer goes up at the rim, no good. Offensive board almost brought down by Holub, but instead it's Solon with it coming back the other way. Ledecky down low to Holobar. Blocking foul will be called on Holub. It's only Jill's first.
And Holub really doing a good job trying to hold her stance. When I would coach the post, I'd always say be a wall. What was happening is she was jumping as she was pushing against her, and you know, good job by Holobar, you know, muscling in there. That's how she was able to draw the foul.
First attempt, no good, but she'll get a second crack at it for the shooting foul. Holobar's the leading scorer for the Spartans. She's got 11, all of which coming in the first half. She's looking for her first points of the second half, and she'll have to wait just a little bit longer. Back the other way, Eichhorn. Eichhorn almost could have got called for a travel there. Back to Weingarten. Weingarten to Schaefer. Trying to go down low. That pass is blocked right back into Schaefer's hands. Ball's in the corner now for Eichhorn. Eichhorn down low to Holub. Holub gets it to go and one.
So that's going to be 4.
That called on Ledecky?
Yeah, on Jenna. That's her 4th.
She had Kaya Holdcamp and Jenna Ledecky now with 4 fouls for the Spartans, as Jill Holub will attempt to complete the 3-point play to bring this deficit back down to 1 point, and she hits it to go. 12 points on the night for Holub. No choice for Coach Smith this late in the game. You got to keep Ledecky in there even with 4 fouls.
Yeah, you got to learn to play. You got to learn to play with those 4 fouls. Still stay aggressive, but be smart.
Deep 3 again from Holobar. That's off the iron, but it's brought down on the perimeter for the offensive board by Buffington. Ledecky with the drive. Holobar almost thought about taking another crack at it.
Yeah, she reached around. So that should be on Eichhorn.
That's going to be the 3rd for Kendra Eichhorn.
And so she was just sealed behind her player and was trying to reach around. Again, if you get sealed behind, you got to work with the legs from the hips down. If you get it with the hands, you're going to get the foul every time for reaching.
Here's Ledecky driving the baseline. Up and under, reverse is good. Claire Ledecky, the 5'7" freshman averaging 1.4 points per game. She's got 4 tonight. What a big shot.
and a grin from older sister out there, I happen to see.
Ball's trapped in the corner, but found an outlet in Eichhorn.
Lots of work in the post area from Holub there and Ledecky.
Holub the miss, the offensive board, the putback no good again, but another offensive rebound. This time it's Taylor Bush. Bush is back on the floor, 4 fouls herself, goes up and draws the foul. Looks like this one will be called on Jada Buffington. It's going to be Buffington's 3rd.
I've got 4 for Buffington.
You would be correct according to the scoreboard.
And I'm also sitting right next to the scorer.
Taylor Bush misses the first of 2. Again, Bush with 4 herself on the line. She's got 7 points all in the second half to lead a ferocious Williamsburg comeback that was once a double-digit deficit. Back down to 3. Still plenty of time left. Off the front iron. I know you're doing free throws. I don't know how many they've made or missed, but they've had a lot of opportunities. I want to say there's been at least 5 or 6 there that could make a difference right now.
9 for the game.
9 misses?
9 misses for the game, unofficially.
Steve rolled to Ledecky. Ledecky, wide open shot, top of the key. Ledecky is good.
She was
leaves it hanging in the cookie jar.
Yeah, 3 or 4 feet back from behind the top of the key.
Jenna Ledecky with 11 to grow the lead back up to 6. Solon 44, Raiders 38. We'll be back in 60 seconds. You're watching KCRG 9.2. Hey, we're back earlier than expected. 6-point lead for the Spartans. What a shot there before we went to break by Jenna Ledecky. Your best players show up in the biggest moments of the game, and what a 3-point shot for Ledecky right there.
Yeah, she was in between the W for Williamsburg and the top of the key. She was back a ways.
Normally a 32% shooter from 3-point range. By the looks of my score sheet, she's got 3 tonight.
Well, if you're feeling it, let it fly. Green light.
Got a good ending in store for you here. 44-38. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left here in the first game of our Tuesday night doubleheader. Boys game coming up in about 20 to 25 minutes afterwards. There's a shot made from Taylor Bush.
Official indicates 3.
10 points in the second half for Taylor Bush. Will Solon be able to come up with a response? There's the charge call on Holobar.
I think she just kind of threw that elbow out there, tried to create some space, and the official right on top of it. So looking at the scoreboard, Mike, we talked at the beginning, both teams averaging around 40, 46, so they're ahead of their averages tonight. You would never know that they are coming off, well, maybe you would know that they're coming off positive wins last night. It seems to have carried over into the intensity they have here tonight.
Down low to Eichhorn, and that ball is back on the bad side of the timeline for the Raiders. A backcourt violation.
Slipped through Weingarten's hands.
And this one seemingly will go down to the wire. We've seen quite the second half performance from Taylor Bush. And in yesterday's game, Bush played hero for the Raiders, hitting a 3 with 25 seconds left, sending them to a 48-47 win over Mid-Prairie. Could be back-to-back nights of heroics for Bush, but not if Solon has something to say about it. 3.5 minutes left. Ledecky passes up the open shot, instead dishes to Holobar. Holobar can't connect. Raiders coming back the other way. That will be a foul call on, looks like Jada Buffington.
That's it. That's 5. That is her 5th. So they're all aware. Coach has time to make a substitution. Weingarten's a little gimpy at the free throw line there.
Looks like Coach Smith is going to go with Claire Ledecky to check back in. Looks like they'll
yeah, she goes in because it's the 5th. It's
right.
The 5th foul.
So off for the night, Jada Buffington, 7 points for her on the night. And the freshman Claire Ledecky will most likely have to play the majority of the remaining time of the game, if not all of it. First free throw attempt, no good from Weingarten.
Teammates come in, give her a little bit of encouragement, see if she can get the second to go down.
Weingarten so far the game's leading scorer with 13. Now she's got 14. 2-point game.
She's still gimpy on that ankle running back down the court here. Weingarten may have rolled that ankle.
Driving and looking for the kick out was Holdcamp, and instead it's Coach Smith calling a timeout, and it didn't look like he wanted to do it. Kaya Holdcamp kind of drove in and was looking for an outlet pass that didn't seem clear.
By my count, Solon's got 2 fulls left, and Williamsburg has got 1 full and 2 30s.
A 2-point game. I know the lead was up to 10 for Solon, but it never seemed like it was really that. This has been neck and neck really since it started.
I agree. I agree. And I just, looking at what Coach Smith might be saying in the huddle here is, of course, we don't have a shot clock in girls high school basketball in Iowa. You've got only a 1-possession lead. I don't think you don't look to do anything too quick. I mean, take your time, but you're certainly not looking to take time off the clock or do any kind of stalling yet. You still need to be scoring, especially as intense as this game has been thus far.
You on board with the shot clock? Been around the game a long time.
I can give you debates on both sides of that argument. Happy to do it. Take the whole broadcast, though. We've right on.
Ledecky out to her younger sister, and it's Claire driving and will draw the foul. That foul is going to go on Eichhorn. Eichhorn's got 4 now.
Good drive there by Claire.
Claire at the line, 43% free throw shooter on the year. She's got 4 points tonight. This is her first trip to the line, I believe. First one's good.
So on that shot clock, Mike, the lead-in I have on that is we need people to operate it, people at the bench to operate it. And, just for all of our sports fans, I say this about every game, but it's true. We need officials. We need people to work the bench. We need PA announcers. We need scorers. We need to keep these games going for the kids. So if you're interested and you don't know who to talk to, reach out to the station because I can connect you just about anywhere in the state if you're willing to work for the kids so we can keep these games going. We need you.
It's often very underappreciated work and the amount of people that are into it as the long pass can't be completed for Solon. That was Skiebrel trying to connect with Holabar. A lot of people that work behind the scenes getting these games completed. Often fans, whether they're watching on TV, whether you just come to the game as a spectator, you often don't really take that, into account.
Yeah, and these are things that, if you're a parent or maybe your kids are not in school anymore and you just miss coming to the games, you might make a little money, you might be a volunteer, but, this is community service and it supports the kids, it supports the entire community.
And while we have a quick timeout here on the floor, we'll take a quick word from one of our sponsors here on KCRG 9.2.
At Community First Credit Union, there's a lot to see. We build customized financial solutions so you can enjoy the life you want. We make it comfortable to have a conversation about what's important to you, like helping you stay on course to reach your savings goal. And what's important to us all, like helping to support causes that count. See for yourself what See First can do for you.
Four-point deficit for the Raiders, who have the ball now. If you were Coach Austin Mulliken in your first year, what'd you tell your team there in that timeout?
Two-possession game. There's no reason to rush, but we don't want to waste time. So look for an open shot. Don't force it, but keep going to the rim.
Here comes Bush. Again, she's had so much success at the rim so far this second half. That one no good, but Schaefer back up at it. Can't get it to go, and how about this? The foul is going to be called on Jenna Ledecky, and guess what?
That's 5.
That is her 5th foul, disqualifying her from the rest of the game. One of the better players for Solon that we've seen here tonight. Ledecky will check out with 11 points.
She's got to check in, though. She didn't check in. So you have 20 seconds to replace a player. She just came in, so Foster, I would have made her check in if I was the scorer.
So Schaefer at the line and makes the first one of the 1-and-1. And right after that foul, you could see Coach Mulliken celebrating, and he wasn't celebrating that he's got a girl shooting free throws on the line. He knew exactly what that situation was, and to take a player like Ledecky off the floor for the remainder of the game now, huge for the Raiders.
Yeah, and it's a two-point game now. So if you're the Raiders, you need to stop.
So who will the Spartans rely on now offensively with 2 non-starters on the floor for the remainder of the game, which isn't much longer, only 1:45. It's Schaefer with the steal, but then it's Ledecky with the steal right after that. They're freshmen, and then it's Claire losing the ball on the floor, bodies. They get a timeout. It'll be a jump ball, Williamsburg ball.
Absolutely. I was just getting ready to say the important thing to do right now is to take care of the ball. You've got to value the possession. So
and
again, 1:45. No need to rush. You don't want to take too much time off the clock, but you don't need to rush. Be under control. Make a good decision. Take care of the basketball.
And that's the importance. Claire Ledecky with that turnover there. She's the freshman. That's the benefit for Williamsburg of having senior Ledecky off the floor. Is now the freshman's back in, makes a costly turnover with under 2 to play here. Huge possession here for the Raiders, and they're calling Bush's name. Bush for 3, and she nails it. Taylor Bush, what a second half. 13 total points, and it's the Raiders. A 1-point lead, their first lead in I don't know how long, but it's been a while.
And the crowd loving it. Bush with the heroics last night. Big 3-point shot here tonight.
Here's Ledecky back with it. Coach Smith wanted to call a timeout, and listen how alive this gymnasium has gotten here. What a shot from Taylor Bush. What a half. What a game. And again, there's a timeout on the floor. 55 seconds left till we remain action here. We're going to take another quick word from one of our sponsors.
Wall Collision Center in Fairfax, we understand there is a reason they call them accidents.
We know no one plans to have one, and we want everyone to keep their head in the game and their eyes on the road. But if the unavoidable happens, we've been here to help since 1998.
With over 300 years experience.
And we'll get you back on the road the right way.
Wall Collision Center on Highway 151 in Fairfax, where quality is our priority.
We can only hope that our second game of the night is nearly as entertaining as this first one has been. It's a 1-point lead for the hometown Williamsburg Raiders over the Solon Spartans, 47-46. Williamsburg being led by Taylor Bush. 13 points here in the second half for the senior, but Solon's got the ball. 62 seconds left remaining here in the game. What will we see? Claire Ledecky receives the inbound pass. The freshman hands it off to Kaya Holdcamp. Holdcamp just a sophomore. Holdcamp looking for somewhere to go with it.
Raiders
going to drive with the right hand, pull-up jumper mid-range, way too long, but it's the rebound from Ava Steebrel. Steebrel back out to Ledecky, 44 to play. Holdcamp with it, driving in, again goes up with the mid-range, no good. Rebound being fought for, it's Williamsburg ball. And Coach Mulliken with a quick timeout.
It's going to have to be a 30.
Looked like Eichhorn got that rebound. Tons of opportunities there for Solon in the mid-range. They just couldn't get a shot to fall.
Right, so a couple important things here. So both coaches have a timeout. So if you can't get the ball in, you can call the timeout. Williamsburg has only got 4 fouls. Solon's got 10. So those important things to keep in mind. Yeah, I expect probably the Raiders or the Spartans are probably going to foul. Try to get the ball back would be what I would suggest or think is going to happen here. If you're Williamsburg, take care of the ball, make them come foul you, and when they do, you have to step up and make those free throws.
As a team, 64.4% from the charity stripe are the Raiders. Their best free throw shooter is the best player they have on the floor. That's Taylor Bush. She's 79% from the stripe, but you got to think that Solon's not going to let her get the ball.
Yeah. Solon's got to play tough defense right now.
Here's Weingarten. Got to get it over the timeline, and she does. 30 to play.
Got to have the ball.
Weingarten. Here's Bush. This is the player you don't want to have the ball if you're a Solon fan. Again, Solon not electing to foul here in the first 10 seconds of this resumption of play. 16 seconds left, and there's the foul once Weingarten gets it back. So they're in the double bonus. Weingarten will get 2 shots.
Quite a bit of time came off the clock there. I'm a little surprised that much time came off with the foul a little sooner.
Looked like maybe trying to just go for that defensive steal before you get the foul, as Weingarten can't connect on the first attempt, which I can understand spending some time to go for that steal, but they let 15 to 20 seconds fly off the clock. These are valuable seconds here.
Big box out. Big box out for the Spartans. Good basket there for the Raiders.
Weingarten up to 15, and it's a 2-point lead. Back comes Solon. 10 seconds left to play. Holdcamp driving underneath, can't go. Offensive rebound is good. Holobar, and it looks like there will be a foul underneath the basket. Coach Smith was yelling for a timeout, but it looked like the foul was called beforehand.
And that's going to be Taylor Bush's 5th foul.
What a huge call there, because Coach Smith from Solon was barking for a timeout.
Yeah, that's his last full. So he's got a minute to sit him down. Yeah, there's been a couple times I've seen both coaches really yelling that they wanted a timeout sooner than what the officials heard. Now, granted, it is pretty loud in here, so it would be difficult to hear, especially if you're the officials, you're concentrating on the game.
And what a difference that could make, too. They got the offensive board. There were only seconds left remaining. I believe there's only maybe 6 or seconds left on the game clock. Holobar came down with the rebound, and Coach Smith is yelling for timeout. If he gets that timeout, Bush is still in the game. Bush is out now.
Right.
So
you got 6 seconds.
Yeah, barring a last-second shot here, we go into overtime with 3 of the top scorers in the game disqualified to play.
Well, you got to get the ball inbounded, because you no longer have any timeouts. So you can't call timeout if you can't get. So if you're Williamsburg, you're real tight defense, nothing easy. If you're the Spartans, you don't have to do catch and shoot, but pretty quick after that, you got to get the ball inbounded and get it in. And looking up, I see Coach Lisa Bluter down here at this end, right, watching. See if the Solon Spartans can come through here.
6 seconds to play in the game. The pass is almost Ledecky going up within. She's going to draw the shooting foul, believe, or is that on the floor? No, it's going to be on the floor. No, so the officials are going to have a meeting here, and this will be 2 shots.
I'm going to call the foul on. Yeah, they just said it was 5, and she's not in the game. Okay, so the foul is on Jill Hollub.
That's only her second, so she's clear. What a moment here for the freshman, Claire Ledecky. She hits these 2. We're back tied. This is a shooting foul, so she'll get both, and she nails the first one. The last time she was on the line, she hit 2 as well. What a free throw this is. What a moment for Ledecky. A 1-point deficit. Ledecky with the second free throw attempt for the tie, and she nails it. 8 points for the freshman. And a timeout is called from Williamsburg head coach Austin Mulliken. And Ledecky is just swarmed by her bench in celebration, especially by her older sister, Jenna Ledecky, who could not be happier. Obviously rather be playing in this game, but what a moment for her younger sister. 2 huge free throws on the road in a last-second moment.
Right, and in the gym, it's a great crowd. It's loud. You've got the backdrop behind you. You're looking at the scoreboard. I mean, that's big time. That's big time, Claire.
So now, what are you saying to your team if you're Coach Mulliken? All of a sudden, you were up by 2. You just lost that lead, and now the shooter that basically got you back into this game is out for the game. Taylor Bush is no more. The next highest scorer, the leading scorer for the game with 15 is Weingarten. Will she take the last shot?
Get it in.
We'll find out.
Oh, going deep.
Long pass.
Going to overtime.
Brought down by Stebrel, and we are headed to overtime. They went cross court. No good. You couldn't end this any better. This game needed overtime. 48-48. These 2 teams playing their hearts out right now, and you needed this extra period. It couldn't end like that.
Yeah. Let's keep playing.
Let's
keep playing.
Unbelievable. We'll get back to action here in 45 seconds in overtime. Another quick word from our sponsor.
I'm attorney Jeff Tronvold. Every day we hear about crashes in Iowa. For some, the first thought is inconvenience and finding a new route. To the families involved, it's a life-changing event and a fight to rebuild. I've spent years in needed professions, but ones you never want to call upon. As a military officer, I fought in war to protect America. As a trial lawyer, I fight to rebuild families after unthinkable losses. I hope you never need my services, but if you do, I'd be honored to fight for you.
Everybody in the crowd, us included, are happy that these teams get to play more minutes. Maybe not the teams themselves, knowing the schedule they have this week. They're already playing so much basketball this week. Now you add 4 extra minutes, at least 4 extra. Would you be really surprised if they were still tied in 4 more minutes?
It's fun, though, and this is when the adrenaline kicks in. Yeah, so both. So it's just clarification for the coaches here. Each team gets 1 full timeout in the overtime period. We jump for possession.
It's going to be Kaya Holdcamp for Solon and Kendra Eichhorn for Williamsburg going for the jump ball. 48-48. We're ready for overtime here at Williamsburg High, and it's the Raiders coming away with the tip. They'll get the first possession. As here's Weingarten, driving the baseline, floater. Nearly falls, but no good. Offensive putback, and that putback attempt way too long. Another attempt by Weingarten, no good. Here comes Solon back the other way. They've got numbers, a 4-on-2, and it's a floater attempt from the middle of the lane, no good by Holdcamp. But again, it's the putback. Holdcamp the offensive rebound, Holdcamp the bucket.
So both teams need to get on the boards there, box out, prevent those second chance opportunities.
Weingarten to Eichhorn. Eichhorn back to Weingarten. That ball tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Stebrel of Solon. Again, a lot of names you will not hear here in overtime is Jenna Ledecky, Jada Buffington, Taylor Bush. 3 of the game's highest scorers so far, but all of them out for getting 5 fouls. So a lot of supporting cast on either team here in the extra period. Weingarten looking to go down low, finds Eichhorn. Eichhorn backing down her opponent, stolen by Claire Ledecky. Back to Holdcamp. Holdcamp going to drive in. Holdcamp underneath. Holdcamp gets it to go.
Scoop and under.
Holtcamp's got 10 points. Been all Solon so far here in the extra period. Williamsburg looking to respond. That one no good. Holtcamp the rebound and the foul call on Weingarten. Weingarten, it's only her second.
Probably not the best decision to foul back there.
What a game from Claire Ledecky. The freshman, those 2 clutch free throws at the end of regulation. She's only averaging 1.5 points per game. She's out to 10, or excuse, pardon me, 8, but a clutch rebound there, clutch steal earlier, and Holtcamp here in overtime. She's at the line, but she missed the front end of the one-on-one. Still a 4-point lead for Solon. Weingarten, they're just looking for something to do offensively. Clearly they're trying to find Eichhorn down low.
And the Spartans are just playing very tight defense there.
We saw a lot of success earlier in the game as well, going down low to Jill Hollop, whose name we have not said in quite a while.
Yeah, she's just been hanging around down in the inside the block. Schaefer with the drive.
And that's going to count. Tegan Schaefer. And Coach Smith contesting that the basket shouldn't count, but it does. She gets the chance for the extra point. Tegan Schaefer with 8 points. Just can't get it done on the free throw stripe tonight. It's back the other way, 2-point game, or Stebro all the way across to Ledecky. Ledecky's going to elect to waste some time instead of taking that shot. Now she drives in, puts it up, no good, nothing but air. Schaefer comes down with the rebound out to Weingarten. Just about 2 minutes left here in overtime. Weingarten with it. Jim is electric right now, trying to feed Hollop down low. It'll be the last touch from Solon. The ball will stay down here with the Raiders.
Yeah, this is a Friday night atmosphere,
right?
Isn't it? It's not a Tuesday night atmosphere. Fun time here in Williamsburg tonight, folks. Glad
Schaefer
you could join us.
Completes the inbound. That ball is intercepted. Stebro with it now, coming back up the floor for Solon.
2 turnovers there for the Raiders so far here in the extra period.
Here's Ledecky on the close side. Back out to Holtcamp. Coach Smith saying, you're going to drive. You better not shoot it.
Nothing but layups. Nothing but layups is what he's saying. So in other words, we've got the lead. We don't have to force anything. We need to take care of the ball, value the possession. The Raiders have got to come after him, and there's the foul.
That's from Eichhorn, and that's Eichhorn's 5th, I believe. Well, that's her 4th. I might have given her a foul too earlier in the game, so Eichhorn still being able to stay in the ball game. As it will be Ava Stebro to the line. She's a 60% shooter from the stripe so far this season. Nails home the free throw here in overtime. Back to a 3-point lead for Solon. And the second attempt, also good. Clutch free throws from the sophomore.
Yeah, sophomore and freshman there, Ledecky. So free throws have been important here.
Players are growing up awful fast here in this game.
That's exactly right.
Schaefer to Olivia Stratton. That's Stratton, number 11 on the floor. Back to Schaefer. Schaefer's driving. Going to go up and under. Almost gets another and one to fall. Instead, it'll be to the line for 2.
Going to call down on Ledecky. Her 3rd.
Tegan Schaefer, 8 points on the night, but has struggled all night long from the free throw line, and that trend continues.
That one was a little short off the front end. So you're tired, you're in an extra period here, you got to use those legs. Use your legs and extend.
Cut the deficit to 3. Can't get it to go again. Looks like it went out of bounds.
Yeah.
Last touched from the Raiders. Solon will get the ball back. 61 seconds left. 4-point deficit But this game's been wild already. I wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah, 2-possession game here. So I was just going to say, take care of the ball.
And it's the steal. That's the senior, Era Foster, giving it away. Schaefer with it now. Here's Weingarten. Pass to the corner, going back down low to Eichhorn. Eichhorn up to Schaefer. 45 seconds left.
A lot of time gone off here.
Looking for that open shot. Weingarten looking to drive. There'll be a block foul called on Ledegi. That will be number 4 for the freshman.
Yeah, that was, Weingarten was falling down, so Ledegi needed to just get out of the way and let her fall and have that turnover. Instead, she picked up the foul. Just a little extra reach in.
Weingarten's the game's leading scorer. Right now she's got 15 and a huge opportunity to add 2 more here. Again, off the front iron.
Well, I don't think I'm going to be jinxing them by saying that they haven't made a free throw in the extra period here. And this is when they need them.
They've had the opportunities. This will be their at least 6th attempt here.
There's one.
Weingarten.
Yep, exactly.
Cuts it to a 1-score game. That'll be a foul called on Jill Holub.
Yep.
I believe that will be on. Yep, that'll be Holub's 3rd.
So we're still in the 1-on-1. That's 9 team fouls on the Raiders. Taking a deep breath.
Kaya Holtkamp off the front iron. Big miss, back to a 1-possession game, and Coach Mulliken's going to use his timeout. Now you don't have to go for the 3 here. They haven't hit a 3 in quite a while, especially with Bush off the floor.
True. However, they haven't been hitting their free throws either. So my initial response would be to drive in, go for the layup, appreciate the contact, get the foul, step up and shoot the free throw. My concern is the free throws haven't been falling for them, especially here in the extra period. So you got to see what the defense is going to give you. If they're going to hang off of you and just hang back and crowd the lane, you got to shoot it. And I think it's going to have to be probably Schaefer or Weingarten would be probably who you're going to be looking for. If you're Solon, don't foul. Because if you foul, you put them on the line for 2. Now, granted, they haven't been making them, but you give them 2 opportunities. Yep. Solon, you just kind of don't give them anything easy. Get a hand up in the 3-point, guard the paint.
And we saw kind of at the end of regulation, too, when Williamsburg was still on their comeback. We had a lot of time go through defensively, so it'll be interesting. There's about 32 seconds left. Are they going to do it right off the inbound? Are they going to look for that more open shot? 32.3 seconds left. So what kind of play will the first-year head coach, Austin Mulliken, draw up for his Raiders down by 3?
I mean, you've got time for 2 possessions.
Here comes Schaefer. Schaefer to Weingarten. Weingarten with the quick 3 attempt, no good. Not really an open shot attempt there, but you can tell that was what was drawn up.
Yeah, she was a little off balance.
She was going to shoot that off the screen whether she was open or not. Didn't fall. 20.1 seconds left. Raiders forced to foul, so it's going to be Era Foster at the line. Foster, I believe this is her first free throw attempt of the game. She's only had 2 all year. She's 1 for 2. Here's the first one. Off the back iron. Still a 1-possession game.
Take a deep breath.
Foster, the only scoreless player on the Spartan roster to check in tonight. And what a clutch point for Era Foster.
You play good, solid defense here if you're the Spartans, and if you're the Raiders, you need to go.
Weingarten, 12 seconds left. Back to Schaefer. Schaefer's going to drive now. Schaefer up at it, no good. Rebound Solon, foul is called. Coach Mulliken lobbying for a jump ball call, but that is not going to be what it is. Solon back to the line, and with just 5.7 seconds left, this one seems to be just out of reach for the Raiders. The Ellie Holobar to the line for Solon. Holobar has 11.
Off the back of the iron again. That's going to be my only coaching tip for both teams is work on some free throws this week. Last time out for the Spartans. 5.7 left on the clock.
What a game this one was. 56-51 with 5.7. No, that was reading 57. Just under 6 seconds, I believe, left on the clock.
Yep, 5.7.
And for the Raiders, it was just a little too much time wasted on that last possession.
I
And
agree.
then an ill-advised 3 attempt on the possession before that.
Yeah.
They were right in this game. Heroic comeback to come back from double digits with the kind of team they're facing in Solon. Both young teams, you mentioned, they grew up a lot tonight.
A lot of positives for both teams. The adjustments, we talked about that. We talked about the defense. We've talked about the offense. We've talked about decision making. So a lot of very positive things that they're going to take from this game. It's sad that someone has to lose. We say that often. Certainly the case here, but positive things in a week that you've got a lot of opportunities. You're going to take something from this. You're playing against good competition here tonight. This is a good competitive game in the WAMAC.
So the Raiders are going to have to put up an attempt here just to bring it a little bit closer. 3 seconds left. They're going to drive the hole. And Weingarten will make the layup. It's too little, too late. As you see Solon celebrating on the floor right now. A huge win, 56-53. Outlasting the Williamsburg Raiders here. A nice road win for the Solon Spartans, who get back to 500 on the season. 6-6 as the Williamsburg Raiders girls basketball team falls to 2-9. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to unpack a lot of stuff from this first game, and we'll take a look ahead to the second game, the boys' game, that will take place in just about 20 to 25 minutes. You're watching live high school basketball right here on KCRG 9.2, brought to you by Community First Credit Union. What a finish in that girls' game. Solon just edging out the win over Williamsburg to improve to 6-6 on the season. The Raiders falling to 2-9 in the WAMAC West. We talked about the WAMAC Conference, how tough it is. It's tough to get a win each and every night out on the floor, and Solon getting a very well-earned road victory here tonight in a game that was back and forth the entire game. We saw a lead grow all the way up to 10, and then we saw Williamsburg mount the comeback, get it to tie, and it went to overtime, and just a little too much Solon action in overtime. Claire Ledecky with some major moments, but really the theme of this that overtime and the end of the fourth quarter was just these teams missing their best players.
Yeah, and free throws. I'm looking just in a real quick stats here. I've got Solon 8 of 14 at 57% free throws in the second half. I've got Williamsburg 8 of 19 at 42%. So a little bit of difference from the free throw line. They were getting to the line. They just weren't able to convert, and some of those were the front end of a 1-and-1.
Williamsburg for the season was a 64.4% free throw team, and what'd you say? They were 42%? That's the difference of the ball game, don't you think?
I think it is. I mean, just looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 missed free throws unofficially. And like I said, some of them are front end of a 1-and-1.
We're taking a look at the action here. This was, I believe, at the end of regulation. This is the Claire Ledecky, the freshman, coming away with a clutch steal there at the end, and then making, unfortunately, a freshman mistake, turning the ball over again. And how about that shot there from Taylor Bush? Bush almost single-handedly got the Raiders back into the game. 13 total points for Taylor Bush. All of those coming in the second half. And then Bush got her 5th foul, had to sit down, and Williamsburg just couldn't really find the offensive identity they needed to just regain that lead again. And they had a nice attempt in overtime, but it was too much. Kaya Holtkamp, who you see there. Holtkamp, by my mark, had 4 points in that overtime period.
And she was really fearless, just taking it to the hoop, and just some offensive boards in there. They were getting second chance points and second opportunities. Credit the Spartans; they just really hung in there. Both teams, fought really hard. As we said, they came off wins last night. They've got more games going this week. A lot of positives to take from this game tonight.
And then you saw Weingarten make that last-second layup. It was kind of garbage time, and that was the final 56-53, the Solon win. Solon now looks ahead to a Friday matchup with Makokata, again, one of the powers in this incredibly tough WAMAC conference. Williamsburg, on the other hand, they're going to travel to CPU on Thursday, and then they have a home game against South Tama. CPU, the defending state champs. WAMAC conference from start to finish throughout the the entire year in this schedule, you're never playing anyone easy.
But, to be the best, you got to play the best. So just take positives from it every night, learn from it, get better every single game. I
think those girls grew up tonight. They're going to grow up fast playing a team like CPU, who brings back girls like AJ Ketcher.
Yeah.
It's just
Riley Goebel.
Yeah, absolutely. Goebel's only a sophomore, right?
Yeah,
she was only
sophomore.
a freshman last year in that CPU title team. And then I believe both teams have played Marion once. I don't think Williamsburg has to play Marion again, thankfully for them. Marion is still on the schedule for Solon. Marion, CPU, those are obviously the two toughest teams that when you look on their schedule, you're like, oh boy.
Right, and Central DeWitt now coming on for the girls as well.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to do it for us for the first game, signing off a very entertaining game, 56-53 again here. Solon getting the win over Williamsburg. But as you see behind the graphic here, the boys are just getting warmed up. We're going to have that game just about 15-20 minutes. Don't go too far away from your television set. For Gina Rogers, I'm Mike O'Brien. You've been watching live high school basketball on KCRG 9.2.